Happy Memorial Day weekend. The world's biggest LED TV screen on the backstretch there at Charlotte Motor Speedway, 200 by 80 feet, helping the fans enjoy tonight's race. As the field rolls off, here's tonight's Coca Cola starting grid. Brad Keselowski's second career pole, AJ Allmendinger, second straight front row start. Carl Edwards won over $1 million last week. Denny Hamlin finished ninth here in 07. Jeff Burton has 3 Charlotte wins. Jimmy Johnson, a 3-time 600 winner. David Rudiman, the 2009 winner of this race, and last week's Sprint Showdown winner, David Reagan. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in for Trevor Bayne, making his first Cup start, and Clint Boyer has a lot of momentum in the last 7 races. Jeff Gordon is a 3-time 600 winner, alongside the Rocket, Ryan Newman. Mark Martin, a 4-time Charlotte winner, and Martin Truex, top 10 in his last 2 races. Greg Biffle, Paul Menard. Then we look at Casey Kane and Brian Vickers in row 9, Matt Kenseth and Regan Smith in row 10. And Darrell, who you got on the radio?
See if we can dial up old Carl Edwards. Hey, Carl, it's DW. You got a copy, buddy?
Second.
Did you say wait a second?
It's 3,900, second gear, 30.
He's working on his pit road speed right now. We don't want to be too intrusive. And Carl, DW, you got a copy?
DW, you got me?
Roger, got you, buddy. Hey, Carl, last week you were in an interview before the All-Star race. Said you're a little nervous. How you feeling tonight?
I guess if you asked me with 10 to go, I hope I'm nervous. I hope I'm in that position again. Our guys worked really hard this week to get this other car ready to go. I don't know if you noticed that, but I tore that one up a little bit, and I think we're going to be good. I'm not really nervous. I'm a little excited to get going here. I think we got a fast Scott's Fusion. Got a lot of people here, and we're all thinking about the troops this weekend. This will be a heck of a race to win.
10-4, my man. Yeah, you got $1.2 million in the bank, and this is a big points race tonight. But I just give you a little bit of advice, okay? Keep her out of the grass.
Amen. I will definitely not be in the grass on purpose. So I hope you guys have a good broadcast. Hope everybody enjoys the race. Thanks, DW.
Good luck, my friend.
Out in front of the field, Toyota Camry hybrid pace car. And doing the driving, watch out. It's Larry the Cable Guy, who, as mater, Larry said he did all his own stunts in Cars 2.
Yeah, he does. He's a funny man.
Brett Bodine with him, NASCAR former competitor in the Sprint Cup Series and the regular pace car driver. This race is brought to you by Budweiser, the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, fast finish. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Get some late breaking stories from our NASCAR on Fox All-Star pit crew. Dick Berggren.
Well, 29-year-old AJ Allmendinger had a tough transition from Indy cars to stock cars. Not fast enough to qualify for more than half of the races in his freshman year here. He's got the fast part figured out. He'll start on the outside of the front row tonight. The goal, win one of these things for the first time. Run an error-free race. No mistakes in the pits, no mistakes by the driver. He drives for the Air Force. Matt Yoakum.
Dick, in the past, Jimmy Johnson has been the money man when the sun's gone down. His prolific talent of reading the racetrack and keeping up with all the different transitions through the different weather changes throughout the night has provided a lot of success. In fact, he's tied as the all-time Charlotte win leader at 6 with those legends, Bobby Allison and Darrell Waltrip. But the big shake-up, the track repaving job. He says he's lost a little bit of his mojo. Trying to get that back tonight, but the big key will be track position. He says that will make or break his winning chances tonight. Krista?
At the end of final practice, one driver had a lift in his voice. Ironically, it was the driver who finished way back in 31st in that practice. But Jeff Gordon wasn't working on speed. He and his team were working on specific race situations for this event. He told his team, great job. We have a car that is ready to race. And then I think he cheered a little. Steve?
Well, Krista, hometown hero Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes in here 4th in points. Now, ironically, he's never won a Cup race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The team told me moments ago they got the car pretty good, unless they're fooling themselves. In practice yesterday, there are 80 ounces of Gatorade in that car for Dale Jr. to fight the heat. And for his part, Dale Earnhardt Jr. said this 600-mile race is more mental than physical.
Thanks, folks. On pole, Brad Keselowski for Roger Penske in a Dodge. 13th Dodge pole at Charlotte. Keselowski's second. His first career pole came at Loudon, New Hampshire last September. 400 laps, 600 miles, 50 to 55 laps on Sunoco race fuel. 3 cars go to the rear for changes during the weekend. Pace car pulls in. On Memorial Day weekend, we're ready to race in Charlotte.
Mike, this is for all our troops, past and present. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys!
Head off turn 4. Keselowski with the lead. Edwards from 3rd to 2nd on the break. Allmendinger slots in 3rd ahead of Jeff Burton. Side by side behind them for 5th.
I just think so many drivers had no idea what their cars were going to be like in these opening laps. It's been a full day since they were on the track, heated up, plus the race yesterday on it since they were last practicing.
Rudeman 5th, Denny Hamlin 6th, Jimmy Johnson, and then Stenhouse in the 21 in his first Cup start. Here comes Boyer on the bottom with Jeff Gordon in the 24.
You know, Mike, Larry, one thing about this tire we have here tonight and this racetrack, it's got super grip. It's almost like super glue. That's great for the start of this race because that's when these cars are the hardest to drive. Low air, start of the race.
Jeff Gordon passing David Reagan. Here comes Ryan Newman, who looks to the inside. And Stenhouse may have brushed the wall.
I think he did, Mike. Got real high off turn 2 over there. Looked like the car pushed out with him. These cars are really resilient. They can take a little bit of a licking and they keep on ticking.
Watch the 21.
Quite a bit of damage, but these cars, that second hit may have done him in.
From David Reagan, look to the right of your screen.
39's going to try and close it up.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good.
There you can see.
Coming inside now.
His right side tires up in that gray. There's no grip up there. The car just took off with him.
Saw another rookie do that today at Indy.
J.R. Hildebrand. Tough day for rookies. Last lap at Indy, second lap at Charlotte. But we stay green. Keselowski's Dodge in front of Carl Edwards and A.J. Allmendinger in Fords. Then Burton, Rudeman, Hamlin. Then Johnson, Boyer, Gordon, and Newman. Stenhouse 11. Denny Hamlin moves underneath. Former winner here, David Rudeman. This will be for 5th.
Just seems like through the years, the Joe Gibbs cars, for whatever reason, to set up everything they have, Joe Gibbs cars always run good here at Charlotte.
Car in the wall, turn 4. It is the number 60, and that's Mike Skinner. Now he got into the wall with with his primary car in practice, so this is a backup. Skinned the right side up pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy damage.
Let's take a look at this thing and make sure that we ain't going to tear a tire off of it. 10-4.
Watch the red number 60 going way up high.
Just a little too dirty up there just at this point of the race to get up that high. I know he maybe didn't intend to get up there, but it just shows you how dirty and how little grip there is on the high side right now.
Skinner continues. We stay green as Jeff Burton, the number 31 Chevy, closes on Allmendinger's Ford for 3rd.
Now, Jeff Burton at 31 had the fastest car here in practice on Thursday before qualifying. Jeff got his last win here back in October of 2008, 88 races ago.
You come out of the shade into the sun there at turn 2. So under the sunshine, you got to get a grip.
Yeah, well, turn 3. The sun is going to stay on turn 3 the longest. As the sun sets, it'll continue to shine down on turn 3. That's why we say that's a place to watch. The other place to watch, hard to get off turn 4 and not make a little contact with that wall early on.
New leader, Carl Edwards, moves underneath Brad Keselowski and puts his Ford out front.
And where he seems to be so strong is where he was so strong in the All-Star race that he won. Right through the middle of the corner, he can pick the throttle up, the car turns, and drives off the corner with a lot of speed.
And everybody says, you know, well, the Ford seem to have a horsepower advantage. When your car will turn and you get back wide open, you can really make everybody else look like they're sitting still.
Dick Berggren
Well, listening to Ricky Stenhouse radio, Mike, he hasn't talked about any major problems with the chassis after the incident with the wall. He just says it lands hard going into the corners. The front end is coming down hard on the racetrack.
You see him racing with Paul Menard there in the 27 car. Paul is racing with about 20 stitches in his right foot, where he stepped on a piece of steel on his ports this week. Plans on trying to go the whole distance, though.
Stenhouse in the 21 car, Larry. Remember, he raced here yesterday. He was in the Saturday race, getting out of that car and getting into this car. Big transition. That could have been a factor in that problem there early.
It's a lot to ask of a young driver who has not run in the Cup Series before to go 900 miles here in 2 days. Trevor Bayne is here. He shared a pre-race prayer with Stenhouse down in front of the car, and then Trevor tried to push Ricky out of the way and climb in. He will be back in the seat in the NNS Series at Chicago, and he will race his next Cup race at Michigan in June.
Which was the next scheduled race for the Wood Brothers number 21 car.
Just want to make a note on times. The fastest lap run so far by Carl Edwards, 29:40. Keselowski was at 29:34. Right now we're racing along at 30:22, 30:19 on those 2 leaders. Let's keep up with that. You'll see as the track cools, those temperatures, those times will probably get down in the low 28s before the night's over with.
One car to the garage early. That is Mike Skinner, who bounced off the wall within the first 10 laps of this race. We're working lap 12. 1 lead change from Poulsen or Brad Keselowski to Carl Edwards. And here's Clint Boyer going to work on David Reagan. This is 9th and 10th place.
You know, Dick Berggren talked about A.J. Allmendinger before the start of the race. As we ride with David Reagan there in the 6 car, I think a lot of people feel that this could be the next driver to go to victory lane.
Well, 2 weeks ago at Dover, I mean, he had a fast car. He was going to get up there and lead that race and a shot at winning it, but they had an engine problem. So if he can have some good luck tonight, look out. It's a rookie's year.
From 90-degree daylight to darkness, that's the way they'll race. The grandstand is shading turn 4. We go down to the south end of the Speedway, past the Speedway Club and the condos. Sunshine full in turn number 2, and then past the big screen on the back straightaway, full sun all the way to the middle of turn number 4 is what they have to deal with here in the early going.
In simple explanation, as this racing surface cools down, it's going to gain grip. It's no different when you walk outside on the asphalt out in front of your house in the middle of the day. It burns your feet. You walk on it at night, it's cooler. It doesn't hurt your feet as bad.
One of the Roush Fenway Fords having issues early. That is Greg Biffle. Steve.
And Mike, he says he's having electrical issues. They're going to change out their box on the first pit stop. Greg said, I'm not going to put up with this all night. Change the box.
These systems, they have 2 ignition systems in it. So what he's talking about is he's going to go from ignition system 1 to ignition system 2. But Darrell, if he's having electrical issues, what's the first thing they're going to tell him to turn off?
His air conditioner, and that's going to, he's already irritated. We're 16 laps into this race. He's already a little irritated. Now they're going to say, by the way, turn off that cool box. That'll save a little energy in the battery.
That's right. These cars have air conditioning. There's a system that blows cool air into the driver's helmet. On a 90-degree day with the cockpit temperature around 110, that is very useful. Carl Edwards, your leader, 17 laps in.